The January 28, 2025 regular meeting of the Hawthorne City Council is called to order at 6:08 p.m. Who do we have for the invocation? Do we have anybody designated for the invocation today? Okay. Mr. City Manager, could you lead us in the invocation today, sir, please? And we have our council member emeritus, Olivia Valentine, if you could do the Pledge of Allegiance for us today.
Okay. Bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here today to conduct city business. We wish and hope for outstanding meeting, very productive. We ask for your leadership and your skills to navigate us through these times. Amen.
Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here. This is the first meeting that we're going to be having for the new year and with our new dynamic on the city council. Thank you all for being here. So let's get to business. Madam Clerk, the roll call.
Councilmember Johnson. Present. Councilmember Montero.
Present.
Councilmember Reyes English.
Excused.
Mayor Pro Tem Manning. Mayor Vargas. No, I heard.
Okay, here. All right, thank you, ma'am. I would like to call on Josh Armstrong to present a proclamation. Where's Josh Armstrong?
All right. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, elected officials. I'm Josh Armstrong with the Information Technology Services Department. Tonight, I'd like to take a moment, although a bit bittersweet for us, to honor the retirement of an exceptional member of our team, Miss Peggy Holt. Peggy Holt has been an invaluable member of the City of Hawthorne's Information Technology Services Department, and we're here to celebrate her years of dedication, hard work, and contributions to our city. When Peggy first joined the City of Hawthorne through a contract company, CMSI, the IT world was completely different. Technology was just beginning to go mainstream and rapidly evolve. Peggy played a crucial role in shaping the department into what it is today. She was at the forefront, ensuring everything ran seamlessly, starting with the Prime mini computer, which is pictured here, boasting a whopping 60 meg hard drive that was the size of a washing machine, complete with reel-to-reel tapes. There are countless stories about the good old days of data processing, to which Peggy was here for them all. Peggy officially became a City of Hawthorne employee 33 and a half years ago. She was a contract employee for the city for 10 years prior to that, so the total time within our walls was actually 44 years. She was with us before the IT department was even created. Later, she was a newly minted city employee when the police department created its first IT department. Stepping into a newly established role, Peggy quickly provided herself as an indispensable asset. At the time, IT looked very, very different, with big tube of monitors, a Unix server, to which were the backbone of the city's operations. Despite the challenges of the era, Peggy's adaptability and problem-solving skills made her the go-to expert for IT solutions, earning her the trust and respect of the colleagues across the city departments. From those early days, she helped lay the foundation for the city's modern IT infrastructure. While Peggy was known for her technical skills, she was also known for her sense of humor and camaraderie. Peggy brought positive energy and made the workplace a better environment for everyone. There was always opportunities for new learning experiences and challenges. The job certainly was never boring with activities outside of IAT. For example, this is the Hawthorne's Summer 1984 Olympic Volunteer Team. What interests Peggy in the realm of IT is that nothing stays the same for long. Technology never stands still, and neither does Peggy. She's adapted to every change, from updating outdated systems to navigating the complexities of modern cyber security. Her expertise helped the city stay ahead of technological advancements, ensuring our enterprise operations remained efficient. And of course, if you know Peggy, you know that she doesn't do anything halfway, including office decorations. Every Halloween, Peggy has set the standard for transforming the ITS department into a haunted masterpiece. It is just one example of how she brought creativity and enthusiasm to everything that she does. And yes, we'll be bringing her back as a ringer. Beyond her contributions to IT, Peggy lives life to its fullest. One of her greatest passions has been figure skating. She has achieved a childhood dream when her synchronized skating team run 3 national titles in a row, a remarkable accomplishment. When she's not on the ice, Peggy embraces adventures at every opportunity. Her travels have taken her to incredible places where she's participated in activities ranging from canyoneering, rappelling, something I'm not going to do, whitewater rafting, kayaking, cave exploration, ziplining to horseback riding, and day hiking. Of course, some of these experiences she insists will never be repeated. For a change of pace, Peggy also enjoys the art of playing the clarinet, proving that Peggy truly does it all. Peggy, on behalf of the city of Hawthorne, colleagues, and everyone that you worked with over the years, we want to express our deepest gratitude for your service. Your impact will be felt long after your retirement, and you'll always be part of the Hawthorne family. We wish you nothing but happiness and success in the next chapter.
Thank you very much.
Peggy, I'm pretty sure there's my colleagues would like to say some nice things about you, and but we have an official proclamation, and for me the biggest highlights of the memories of you were since the beginning. You were always there to help set me up on my computer as a newbie. What distinguished my memories of you were your patience, your follow through, your punctuality, and your expertise on the subjects with regards to IT and computers. So, and you're just a generally awesome person. Everybody wants, it feels so good to be around you. So, thank you for your service to the community. So, the city of Hawthorne, all my colleagues and myself, we signed this, and we're saying this is from our perspective of what we feel. Your contributions are, in addition to what Josh said. Peggy Holt retired in December 2024, concluding an illustrious career spanning 33.5 years as an information systems analyst. Her unwavering dedication and extensive service have made a lasting impact on the city's operations and technological progress. She commenced her professional career in the 1980s as a computer operations specialist and programmer for an IT contractor serving the city. In 1991, she officially became a member of the city staff, playing a crucial role in the modernization of financial systems by facilitating the transition from the mainframe-based Prime application to the Eden application and subsequently the Munis financial system. Her contributions were instrumental in enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness of the city's technological infrastructure. As Peggy embarks on her retirement after an exceptional 33.5 years of service, she eagerly anticipates new adventures. Her ambitions include witnessing the Northern Lights, exploring the ruins of Pompeii, and investigating the catacombs of Rome. Peggy's legacy of commitment, innovation, and enthusiasm will be fondly remembered, and she now commences a well-deserved journey into the next chapter of her life. This has been proclaimed on the 28th day of January 2025 and has been signed by all members of the council. Thank you so much for your service.
To the chair.
Yeah.
Peggy, oh my God, I can't believe it. 33.5 years. I've had a short time with you, but within the short time that I've gotten to know you, I feel like I bothered you for like 33 years worth of time. Not the newest, but the second newest council person, I think I bothered you every single week with asking for a new password, just trying to really understand everything. And you were so patient with me. And that I truly echo what the mayor says about your patience. I really did experience your patience because I bugged the daylights out of you. So thank you so much. I wish you all the best in your retirement, and I look forward to seeing you around the city, especially during the holidays, being the best dressed. So thank you.
Welcome.
Councilmember?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Peggy, you deserve to go have fun because 33 and a half years is a long time working, and you have put your heart and soul in that job. I know you since 2018. You set me up with my computer, with my password, and any troubles, you call Peggy, and in like 30 seconds, you'll be up and put us to run. So I appreciate everything you have done for us, especially also, like Josh said, Halloween. You make hundreds of kids so happy for all those preschool kids that came to visit every year, go downstairs, and they would love it, and some of them were scared, but you had a sense of beautiful things, dressing like Cleopatra and everything. So you have done outstanding for us, for this community. So enjoy your new adventures. Definitely, hiking is one of the most beautiful things to keep you strong and enjoy your life. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome very much.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you all for this wonderful honor. I feel like I've grown up here, and then City Hall has been like my second home, and all my coworkers have become my extended family, and I have tried to the best of my ability to serve and assist everyone with all of their IT needs. I've enjoyed my career here. I've learned a lot. It's changed dramatically since the 80s, and I know it'll keep changing in the future, and it'll be kind of awesome to see where it goes from here, especially with AI coming on and the word translation services. I really also thought my job was very interesting, and it was never the same from day to day. It was always something different. It could be a little surprising, sometimes strange, but there was always a sense of accomplishment when a project was completed successfully. So I'm off to explore new activities and adventures, and I've already participated in Introduction to Pickleball. And my family thought, oh, okay, for my birthday, which was this week, I received a pickleball and a neat little bag to put it in, so I guess I'm committed to pickleball now. So you haven't seen the last of me. I know I'll be back because I'm really interested in seeing the dedication of the newly renovated City Hall. So I'll be popping in maybe to see how the construction's going, and especially when the new building is dedicated, I'll sure be in the audience. So thank you very much. I have enjoyed my time here, and it's gone by really quickly. The 43 years. Can't believe it. It's been like a lifetime. Thank you.
Our newest council member would like to say something?
Can you hear me? There we go. Being the baby of the family, I didn't get a chance to really meet you or work with you, but you were chasing me down trying to get my computer set up before you left, so I appreciate that. But it sounds like I missed a lot, and I'm glad to hear that you're still going to be sticking around in some capacity. So maybe our paths will cross. We can grab a cup of coffee or something.
Awesome.
Thank you for your service.
Let's give Peggy a big round of applause, folks. If you could take a picture with us, make your way over here, and I have our proclamation. I think, Josh, did you have one? Or let's do a combination of holding this and that. Okay, let's see how we can set that up.
All right, here we go. And then 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. All right. All right. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Manning has a proclamation tonight.
Chief, can you please come to the front? Thank you, Peggy. Today is a beautiful day. We get to honor Peggy, and we get to honor our police department. Thank you all for being here today as we come together to honor the brave men and women who have served our community with unwavering dedication during one of the most challenging times, the Eaton fires. As Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Hawthorne, I stand before you filled with great pride and gratitude for the sacrifice and the heroic efforts from our officers. When I talk about the City of Hawthorne, I hear the word good neighbors. I am especially proud of our officers who truly understood the assignment and stepped up during the crisis, just as you always do. It is an honor to recognize and thank our police officers for their dedication, courage, and selflessness. To every one of you who made the sacrifice to provide comfort, support, and hope during such a devastating time, I extend my deepest gratitude. if I can ask the audience to participate with me, I greatly appreciate it. So when I say what I say, I just need you right afterwards to say Hawthorne PD. Okay? Are y'all ready? Who is the best in town?
Hawthorne PD.
Who stepped up?
Hawthorne PD.
Who created Coffee with the Cop?
Hawthorne PD.
Who's the best in town?
Hawthorne PD.
There you go. Hawthorne PD, we appreciate you. Let's give them a round of applause. So I'm going to present this to the chief, but the chief is going to name the officers.
Yeah. Mayor Pro Tem Manning, thank you very much for the recognition for the organization and for the city of Hawthorne. But this is really, really a special day because I get to make Sergeant Ian Elliott introduce his team and do all the talking tonight. So I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you for the opportunity. Obviously, we haven't seen myself up here too often, so excuse not the best public speaker, but here we go. Just to give everybody a little bit of background, the efforts at the Eaton Fire, we are, the Hawthorne Police Department is part of a multi-law enforcement agency program called Area G. It's a geographical area, including the city of Hawthorne, city of Inglewood, Gardena, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach, and Torrance. All of our cities are smaller in size compared to like LAPD, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. So in a large-scale natural disaster, civil unrest, we all have to pool our resources together to assist each other, and that's exactly what happened. In the example of the Eaton fires, it was such a large catastrophe. Even those larger departments needed help from other agencies. So that's why we were tasked with responding to those fires. Some of the responsibilities these officers were tasked with, or just what we call like intersection hard closures where neighborhoods needed to be closed. They need law enforcement to man those stations. There's convention centers, distribution centers. Our officers would be stationed there just to provide a security detail to provide security at those locations. I also wanted to extend my personal thanks and gratitude to the officers here because this is not a normal detail for them. Fortunately, we don't have to do this all that often. Every couple of years, these fires kick up and we have to respond, but not to dilute our services to the city of Hawthorne. Every single officer here who came in to work these shifts came in on odd shifts. Some of these folks don't work nights. We're asking them to work nights. They're getting phone calls from me at 10, 11 o'clock at night telling them, congratulations, you're going to get up at 4 in the morning and be in Pasadena. We also, back to earlier detail, we also assisted Pasadena Police Department handling some of their patrol radio calls while they could tend to issues they needed to tend to. So these folks, I mean, they're under no necessary, well, let me rewind. I just wanted to thank them and let them know they're truly being appreciated for what they did. Most of these folks, when I'm calling them at 10 o'clock at night, now they're scrambling, childcare, who's going to get my kids to school, asking spouses to work different shifts, and so on and so forth. So these folks really stepped up. I want to appreciate. I'll do my best. I had to bring my list. And just as some, our department is roughly in about 90 some odd officers. We had over 31 officers respond. Again, all on shifts, not their normal shifts. Multiple officers here responded multiple different times. Anyway, starting all the way to my left, that's Officer Matthew Lucero. Next to him, Alan Valle. Next to him, Zitlali Rodriguez, Christopher McFeeters, Hector Aguayo, Peter Nambo, Jose Gomez, Jose Molina. Also seated here, Detective Andrea Godoy, Cardenas, and Trey Gilmore, and then Sergeant Vu over here as well. These are all the folks that stepped up, worked shifts that were not their normal shifts, many times at last-minute notices, and they all did a fantastic job. When we were done with our responsibilities out there, we got a lot of compliments and kudos from the other responding agencies in Pasadena as well. So thank you all, much appreciated. Thank you.
So can we have you come so we can present you guys the proclamation? Did you hear me?
Oh.
Come on.
Everybody walk around and we're going to take a picture.
an age separation thing going on. Madam Clerk?
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any individual council member. During oral communications, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies as a body shall have the discretion at the close of oral communications to refer any remarks to the city manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
Olivia Valentine.
Thank you. Good evening and Happy New Year, Mayor, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, elected officials. As a result of the recent wildfire disaster, I have been thinking about many issues around disaster preparedness for fires and earthquakes. So we have a website, and as you look at it, you really have to be good at it. You really have to know how to navigate it well in order to get the information you need. For example, disaster preparedness is way down under residents on the website. So you have to find residents first, then you find disaster preparedness under that. Well, if you're in a disaster situation and you need quick information, you wouldn't necessarily know to look under residents. So it needs to be in a more prominent place, which is more apparent as soon as the website is open. It needs to have its own category, disaster preparedness or emergency preparedness. Evacuation shelters. There was a location under disaster preparedness for evacuation shelters, but I saw no shelter in this location. Is Hawthorne Memorial Center an evacuation shelter? I hope it is, but it doesn't say so. We should have several evacuation shelters in the city in case people are displaced from their homes. Now, I assume Hawthorne Memorial Center is one, but I don't know that because it doesn't say so. The website should also offer a list of essential supplies and documents people should take with them in case they have to evacuate. Well, it is on there, but you have to look way down under disaster preparedness toward the bottom in order to find it. There is, again, no information given as to where people can go if their home is unlivable. So the issue of evacuation shelters is critical. We may not be in danger of wildfires in this area, but earthquakes are always on the table, so this should be something that is prioritized. And there should be several designated shelters where residents can go in an emergency to stay if their home is unlivable. Now, I looked at Alert South Bay Hawthorne, which is set up to provide emergency alert and warning notifications to the residents. It's at the bottom of the disaster preparedness page. So you have to be able to navigate the website in order to set this up. I guess the bottom line is you have to be internet savvy in order to get the most out of the information on disaster preparedness. I believe the city should provide ongoing training for those who are not internet savvy, where they can go to receive information on navigating the website or obtaining disaster preparedness information. Thank you very much.
Mr. City Manager, is that something you could maybe respond to her at an appropriate time?
Absolutely. Excuse me, absolutely. I think some of the things that was mentioned by former Councilwoman Olivia Valentine, we actually did. It was a banner on our website that took individuals straight to the links that she was excuse me, describing. But I will work with her to enhance our mobility on our platform.
Wonderful, thank you. Super quick, very quick.
Okay, just for the public information, all the Hawthorne School District schools that are 11 schools in Hawthorne are certified American Red Cross emergency shelter. If there is a disaster, all the 11 schools has been certified by the American Red Cross as an emergency shelter. So they have like containers that they have all the things needed that will provide at least 2 weeks of food and supplies for the people, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Gordon Michael Migo.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gordon Michael Ego, native and resident of Hawthorne since October the 8th, 1952. Happy New Year to everyone here in the community and beyond. Wishing you the best in health and everything else during the year 2025. It is my hope that you, along with family, friends, and other folk, enjoyed Christmas, Hanukkah, and other celebrations during the month of December. With renewed optimism for the future of our community, we, the people, look forward to achieving our desire of having Hawthorne Renaissance Plaza Mall for shopping, dining, relaxing, entertaining, and other things. Plus, Robert F. Kennedy Medical Center with a full range of health care and a rebuilt hospital campus that will provide jobs for the people and revenue for the city. The Rose Parade on New Year's Day is a really great event. Hawthorne needs to be part of it. Let us be bold and daring to achieve these goals to improve the quality of life. Now, shifting to the wildfires of California, our hearts and prayers go out to the people who have suffered devastating losses from the fires in Los Angeles and other areas. I want to say thank you to the firefighters, law enforcement officers, healthcare specialists, volunteers in relief efforts, government officials, public works employees, and other people who participated in dealing with the severe effects of these fires. Unfortunately, the governor, the state legislature, and other people failed to properly deal with these wildfires beforehand, before they actually took place. Billions of dollars from taxpayers that have been already funded by voter measures or legislation to build reservoirs in the state and to provide firefighting equipment and so forth have not been spent, which is really strange. Also ignoring the need to acquire and retrofit 747, DC-10, and other aircraft, and to locate them at various airports up and down the state for dropping large amounts of water on the fires. Let's say, your major airports, you'd have maybe 8, 10, 12 aircraft like that, and they can scoop up the water in the Pacific Ocean, and they can just like a military operation, just bombard the stuff and catch everything early on, which a lot of people called up their folks and all that and said, hey, it's a small fire. Others would call up later, the fire's growing. Others would call up later. And lastly, also neglecting the duty to clear rural areas of dead trees, overgrown dry brush, and so on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Deborah Sturdivant, please. Love Beyond Autism. Welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and elect officials. I'm still not a speaker, but I'm coming to you guys asking the city to stand behind us again, to give us the okay to have another autism awareness walk for the city of Hawthorne. Last year we had the first walk and it turned out extremely well. We have members of the council members that was there. They got to experience the first walk. It was a huge turnout. We had people that came from Lancaster, Apple Valley, just hours away just to join the first walk for the city of Hawthorne. And right now, I have people asking me, when are we going to have the next walk? Usually the walks for autism start in the month of April. So again, I'm coming to the city to ask that you allow us to have our second autism awareness walk for the city of Hawthorne. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dion Rumble?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and other council members. We want to appreciate all that you guys are obviously doing for the city of Hawthorne. We appreciate you guys even keeping the telehealth vans and working with us. A lot of communication on things we can do to improve. A lot of communication on what it takes to, be a member of the Hawthorne family. So we truly appreciate that. And Crystal's going to just talk for a few seconds about the Eden Fire and everything that we were doing out there in Representative Hawthorne.
Good evening, Mayor Vargas, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council. I just want to say thank you, Mayor Vargas, for giving us the opportunity to go out and donate 2 of our vans to provide mental health services to the Eden Fire victims. For 5 days, from January 14th to the 21st, we were at Santa Anita Park, as well as the Dream Center. So we were able to get, which I provided to you all the data of how many people came to the van and got services and signed up. So I just want to really say thank you to the city of Hawthorne, and also, any direction that you have going forward. We're very, very grateful. So thank you.
I'll say one more thing. When we were there were no one else there offering mental health services. So Red Cross put the vans directly in the center of all of the victims themselves and all of the residents that was there. So I'm happy that you had to go out there and donate that way, because we became the only mental health providers in the entire area of Santa Rosa. So thank you all.
Thank you. Frank Di Pasquale?
Oh, here he comes. No, thank you, Mayor and Council. No, tonight I really just wanted to go on record to say thank you to staff and for all their efforts to try to address the safety concerns related to the McDonald's project. No one gets everything that they want, and we understand that. And so I look forward to, and we all look forward to, those residents that were immediately affected, working together with McDonald's and addressing any issues that might arise in the future that were unexpected in a cooperative way. So again, thank you, staff.
Thank you, sir, for your feedback. Anybody else wishing to address the city council? Form a line, please.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ruben Sanchez. I'm with the North Hawthorne Community Association. I'm here to thank the code enforcement. They were doing an excellent job. We were having some issues in the north side of Hawthorne. A lot of these apartments were taking the liberty of leaving trash bins on the sidewalk. And they've been there for weeks, and neighbors started getting very irritated. There was a lot of smell. It was obstructing the sidewalk for walking. And it looked very dirty. So I want to thank a big shout out to the code enforcement. They did a great job. They managed to talk to the management companies and force them to clean up after themselves. And they've been taking a lot of freedoms, and we've been noticing that. And I wanted to bring that subject up to you, Mr. Vargas, because from my understanding, you ran on environmental. Hell, the kid who came out in the commercial for you is about to be 18 years old. So it's been a while. So I hope we can take a drive one of these days and kind of look at the areas where it's most effective when it comes to being dirty. Also, I want to touch a little bit on the whole telehealth ban. First of all, when they thank you, Mr. Vargas, for giving this out, it's not yours to give. This is the city. This belongs to the city. Right now, you pass this out, the so-called telehealth ban, without even knowing statistics on how much are we paying for. We don't have any information, at least not yet. You know, do people even understand how much is the city paying per person that gets referrals from the telehealth man? Because like I said, would people believe that they're paying per person about what, between $700 or $800 per person? Could that be it? Can it not? These are the questions that we need to be asking. These are the things, this is the information that we need to be giving to the people, to the public. And then we can say, hey, Mr. Vargas, you're free to go and give this out to the fire victims. And talking about the fire victims, you see, fire victims, that's what we call unhoused people. Those people are homeless right now. A lot of them are looking for new homes. They're coming to the South Bay area now. There are not that many homes in the beach areas, and they are looking at Lawndale, they are looking at Hawthorne. These are the real unhoused people. Unlike the vagrants that usually walk around our streets, that the city has been catering to for the past few years. That we spend thousands of dollars, hundreds and thousands of dollars on this. You know, you guys need to be held accountable for these actions. And we need to start looking at numbers to see if it's even worth it. You know, I'm happy that we're having this conversation right now that I brought up, and the North Hawthorne Community Station has always been talking to all of you individually. But we need to sit down, Mr. Vargas, and whoever wants to join, more than please. I'm saddened that Angie isn't here because she's pretty much one of the main persons who brought the telehealth map. Thank you very much. Have a blessed night.
Anybody else? If not, I declare oral communications closed. So ordered. Right. City Clerk's consent calendar, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have 4 items on the consent calendar. There are items 3 through 6 for your consideration and approval. Item 3, City Treasurer requests approval of the warrants. Item 4, approval of waiver of full readings of resolutions and ordinances on Tuesday, January 28, 2025's agenda. Item 5, resolution number 8507, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, upholding the Planning Commission approval of a conditional use permit to operate a drive-through at 13324 South Inglewood Avenue, subject to conditions and making findings in support thereof. Item 6, resolution number 8509, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, amending the membership composition of the KHHR Communities Network Committee and clarifying the elections and terms of the chair and vice chair for adoption.
I make a motion.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you for that. City Manager's consent calendar, please.
Item 7, progress payment number 3 in the amount of $131,021.08 due to Sequel Contractors Incorporated of Santa Fe Springs, California for 120th Street improvements, Crenshaw Boulevard to Felton Avenue, Phase 2, project number 21-03. Item 8, Retiree Health Care Plan, June 30th, 2024, GASBS 75 Actuarial Report. Item 9, publicly receive, open, declare sealed request for bids and award Section 3 contract for the Community Development Block Grant funded Hawthorne Crenshaw Village Commercial Rehabilitation Project number CRP-2401. The bid results are as follows. A&M Construction, $490,970. Coral Construction, $416,900. Dan Contractor, $319,200. Item 10, American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, update and request for approval of recommendation. Item 11, Annual Comprehensive Financial Report of the City of Hawthorne for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2024. Item 12, progress payment number 6 in the amount of $171,000 due to Doja Incorporated of Ontario, California for the Zayla Davis Park renovation, project number 24-04. Item 13, approval of the sale of a crane, platform, and tugs that were purchased and utilized by the police department's air unit to assist with the maintenance, movement, and housing of related equipment. Item 14, Aerodome change order for drone dock and radar system for drone first responder in the amount of $175,550 and $67,600 for services provided by NASTEC International Incorporated. Item 15, an agreement between the Hawthorne Police Department and Action Target for maintenance and necessary upgrade of the Hawthorne Police Department range in the amount of $155,000. Item 16, agreement with Hawthorne Airport LLC regarding taxiway rehabilitation at the Hawthorne Municipal Airport. Item 17, master equity lease agreement between the Hawthorne Police Department and Enterprise. Item 18, progress payment number 4 in the amount of $1,320,396.12 due to Pardis Air, Inc. of Los Angeles, California for Hawthorne Memorial Center HVAC system upgrade, project number 23-08. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 7 through 18?
I move on all items. Okay, she had the floor. She had the floor before you made the second. That's fine.
I'd like to pull 16 for discussion.
I make a motion on, so the motion is for all items with the exception of 16. Please vote.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Just a clarification, so if I make a motion, if somebody makes a motion and somebody interjects with a request to pull before the second's made, then that leads towards the discussion item. And then you could do the second on everything else. So just for clarification why we did that. Go ahead. Discussion.
Yes, I would like more clarification and explanation of 16. Wait, hold on.
16.
I think I pulled the wrong thing. Okay, yeah, 16, sorry. The 5 looked like a 6. City manager?
I can address any of the questions you may have.
So can you explain to me exactly what we're rehabilitating? If you can give me a clear.
Sure. So this agreement with Hawthorne Airport LLC, who's the master ground leaseholder at the Hawthorne Airport, is basically an agreement for them at their expense. The rehabilitation is a word that they use for airport, is to basically strengthen the taxiway because they are going to apply to have some hangars developed there. And in case there are some larger airplanes that are heavier, especially after they fuel up at the airport, the plane gets much heavier. So we want to make sure that the taxiway is protected from these heavy weights. So they, out of their own expense, they will strengthen the taxiway mainly.
Okay. Also, I wanted to address the fact that I get calls regarding noise. And a lot of people equate heavier plane, louder noise. And I'm talking to people that have no education on what planes make noise, what planes don't. I actually live right there in that path of where the planes are. And so I just wanted to clarify for the residents in terms of the noise factor.
So in terms of the development of the hangars where some of the larger planes may be taking a lease by contract with Hawthorne Airport LLC, that's subject to other type of measures and standards such as CEQA, and there is a environmental studies that has to be done along with an approval from a state agency. In terms of the noise factor, that's why we have another commission and a committee for that purpose. Mm-hmm. This is strictly limited to the city and Hawthorne Airport LLC agreeing for them to
do the
make
work.
Make the taxiway stronger.
I get that. But I was just saying, like, it's a bigger, heavier plane, and that's why they're doing the work. And I just wanted to clarify here today that because it's a heavier plane, it doesn't mean more noise.
And that may be an issue when there is an approval process for the development of the actual hangars. In terms of what we're doing here is just strictly limited to city approving them for them to strengthen the taxiway. The agreement has a clause in the end where we're not agreeing to any vesting rights or entitlements for the hangars. That's subject to other process. So it's just strictly for the strengthening the taxiway.
Right.
If for
I
one reason or
understand.
another, either the under airport regulations or under the state agency that the hangars are not approved, basically we would have a stronger taxiway, and that's it.
Sure. Thank you.
I make the motion.
I second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks for that feedback. My parents, when they bought that house, they live over there on York Avenue, just right on their flight path. They knew that there was an airport there, so. I mean, I think a lot of people choose to buy a house and knowing that there's an airport there. But the bigger side, over the years, the technology in building like engines and jets, it increases in order to remove the noise factor. So it's not necessarily a proportional type of relationship. So it's technology.
And who's the engineer?
Well, I'm telling you, it's like it's not a proportional relationship.
No. I'm just saying that to say that not everybody have the type of education and understanding that you have, Mayor. And so I just wanted to clarify publicly so that I'm not getting calls of people saying to me, well, this is going to create more noise. So I just wanted to clarify publicly so that people can understand that don't have the level of education that our engineer mayor, I think you got like 3 degrees or something like that. So that was basically my point.
I think there's ways of making this much simpler for people to understand. It's not a proportional, it's not directly related. So technology has increased. And yeah, I think probably now more than before, we haven't received many noise complaints, have we? In the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I haven't heard anything come through.
I hear them.
You hear?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, then, let me know about them.
Will do.
But we're expecting, whatever the approval process for them to bring larger aircraft, then that's just a separate issue apart from what we have here. So all that gets dealt with at that point. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Sure.
Just 2 degrees, not 3. You're silly. The city attorney's consent calendar.
Item 19, claim for bodily injury by Deontay McCall. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council deny the claim of Deontay McCall. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city attorney's consent calendar. I have a motion to approve item 19.
So moved.
Second. Please vote, folks. Mayor Pro Tem.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
I was gonna say something to the city clerk, something in the weather, man. Everybody, you know, like a lot of stuttering or mistake. You know, I did it a few times today too. So, we're at the discussion action items. Let's have a good productive conversation if needed on these. Item 20, Mayor Pro Tem Katrina Manning, Baldwin Hills and Urban Watersheds Conservancy authorizing Proposition 40 funds. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. So I had an opportunity to request funding. Our parks, the bathrooms, I feel like could use an upgrade, all of our parks. And this was an opportunity to get funding for one of our parks. my goal is to try to complete all of our parks, but this is the beginning, and the funds that were available, they had to be used by this year of June. So I had the opportunity to present it to my colleagues. My colleagues approved it, and here we are now. So let me just explain a little bit about Prop 40. California Clean Water, Clean Air, Safe Neighborhoods and Parks, Coastal Protection Act of 2002 supports funding to preserve and protect natural and cultural resources, enhance open spaces and recreational opportunities, and foster sustainable urban ecosystems that benefits disadvantaged communities. One of the things that we plan to do with our project is to improve our open park and improve the ADA features, such as widening the doors, grab bars near the toilet, sink and hair dryers to accommodate wheelchairs, also enhance LED lighting, energy efficient hand dryers, and sustainable features for seniors and children. Also, let me see. We want to make sure that we are drought tolerant for our plants, eco-friendly construction practices, water-saving fixtures such as low-flow toilets and faucets, and design features to prevent runoff, waterless urinals, rainwater harvesting, and rain garden. So these are some of the things that we're going to do with the funding that we were able to secure from the Watershed Board. So I just wanted to share that information.
If I may I add to your
Sure.
great scope
Please
of work
do.
there? The project is prepared to go to design this April. So April to August will be the design phase, and we're looking to start construction October 2025. Mayor Pro Tem Manning, we thank you for your leadership, and congratulations on your appointment as vice chair on this committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your report. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Or we're good?
No, that's it.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 21, I accept the report. Do we have concurrence on the rest of the council to accept the report? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Manning, please proceed with item 21.
Mayor, I'm going to pull that and table that until Councilwoman Reyes come back.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Montero?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you know, February is a Black History Month, and in conjunction with the city clerk, Miss Dana Hunt,
Everybody.
and on the bless of our city manager, I want to ask you, all of you, for permission that we're going to do a little celebration of Black History Month. We're going to recognize some individuals in our cities that have participated and give their time and effort to improve our city, such as the commissioners and some other folks. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys are okay if we gave them proclamation and we have all your signatures on that proclamation. And it's going to be on February 28th, and we're going to have a short program like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, from 4 to 6. So right here in City Hall, we're going to have some type of, I'm going to ask Ms. Hunter to drop in what you have in mind, please.
So on the February 28th, that is a Friday, we are going to have a small reception area right outside of council chambers. The main program will take place inside of council chambers. We'll have some light refreshments outside, and then we'll have maybe some art, some African art or some Black art in the main lobby. And basically, it'll be about an hour and a half of people coming in, and I can provide you all with a list of everyone that we want to honor so that you all can, know who you're signing off on, and accepting recommendations for anyone that you feel like we should honor. That's not on the list when I give you guys the list, and open to suggestions, and I hope that everyone is able to come.
To the chair.
Yes.
I was thinking it would be great if we had maybe a mini film talking about Black history.
That's part of it as well.
Okay.
Sir, do you, any considerations, Mr. City Manager?
I don't know if you said this or not, but did we speak about the date? I didn't catch
28th.
that. February 28th, okay.
Yeah.
February 28th, that's a working Friday here at City Hall. We close at 4:30, but we will have the doors extended open till 6 p.m.
Okay, thank you, sir. Actually, that's a good point, just so everybody knows, because I can't keep track of which Fridays we're closed, so thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, wow, I have 3 items. This is rare, isn't it? No, okay, this is just some things I just want to knock out. Nothing controversial, just good, positive stuff, I believe. Item 23, should the city adopt an ordinance prohibiting the use of gas-powered leaf blowers? And I'm bringing this up because I received feedback from a resident, and I just want to make sure we address it, and I want to pose it to my colleagues here. We could choose to take action. We could choose not to take action. So right now, from what I'm going to ask the city attorney to correct me or augment anything that I say, but there's a prohibition on the sale of gas-powered leaf blowers right now. And the gasoline-powered leaf blowers can still be used, but they're not going to be sold anymore. So what this particular person is looking for is for us to ban the gas-powered leaf blowers, but I really don't know what difference that's going to make with regards to noise. If you either use a gas-powered one or electric one. Mr. City Attorney, I did talk to you, sir, so if you could just give us more information based on our conversations.
Yes, so the state law, it's a new legislation that prohibits various tools used by gardeners, I guess, that uses gas power. That the reason why it was prohibited from sale starting this year is that it contributes to climate change, and that's the main reason, not because of the noise, but because of the climate change issues. So this is something that several cities have passed an ordinance that now prohibits the use of gas-powered leaf blowers. So it's up to the city council to decide whether they want to bring up a legislation prohibiting it in the city as well. But having noted that in my conversation with you, that is mainly right now one resident that is asking for this.
Okay. So based on that, say today we would pass, say, hey, let's just bring it back so we could vote and have an ordinance or whatever, right? We have something on the books, but how do we enforce it? Are there challenges to enforcement? Is it just for show? Are we gonna be just? What are the challenges? I don't know if the city manager can answer that.
Yes, I can answer that.
Or is it something that we could easily enforce?
No, that would not be easy. We do have 5 code enforcement officers. We would have to prioritize what the need enforcement is. I would recommend that we initiate a campaign, asking, requesting, educating the community on the use of leaf blowers, and work that angle before we enforce. My fear is that we'll be inundated with phone calls of violations, taking staff off what council might feel is important violations in the city, and not get that work done. So I would like council to consider that before making a vote.
Actually, I didn't really even think about that part. That could be an option, but I want to say some more, but Councilor Montero?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, I could have been a complainer because there is one, I think it's a company that does landscaping, right? Cutting the grass on a weekly basis. And every Saturday morning, around 6:30 in the morning, they go with that blower. So, but I always got annoyed about that because, so I could complain and say, I do agree with you, Mr. Mayor, because those things are very noisy and they blow stuff to your car, right? And then they don't clean them, then we have to clean it up. So I do agree that we should do something about it. And maybe if we pass the law, maybe we can educate the residents to use the 311 app to complain instead of phone calls, So, and then maybe then we can follow up, because I think it's not the residents using those blowers, but is the landscaping contractor that does the work cutting the grass, because some of them, I know that I have one of the landscapers do our complex, and on Wednesday he used those blowers, to clean up the driveway and stuff like that. So it's not residents, but is the people that is providing the service to the residents and to all the apartment complex and townhomes around our city. So, but I do agree that we need to stop, because they kind of like, they're not good.
Thank you for your feedback. But actually, you bring up a separate point. That's the time at which they start using these things. What is our noise regulation? Do we have a noise regulation? You can start constructing and making noise.
Yes, that's
constructions at 8 o'clock.
That 6:30 a.m. time is a violation, so that's a separate violation.
What time do they get to start? Whoever knows about that.
7 a.m.
7? Oh, so they're off by.
Early half an hour.
Is that on weekends too? 7 o'clock for weekends?
Weekend is 9?
So 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday.
Oh.
Ooh, they're way off.
So that's a separate thing, and that's an easy one to, well.
So I've been put that up for 23 years.
We need to enforce that, and that's something we should enforce, and people need to call that in. My fear is that if we have something on the books, and we have our code enforcement that are, where do we hold this in priority? Do we drop everything else in the city and have everybody code red alert to this specific location to see if we can catch the leaf blowers? The guys with the leaf blowers? Or do we have like somebody that, has some dangerous chemical runoff that's going in, somebody that has a dangerous building situation where something's about to hurt somebody. So, and then say we don't enforce that, and are we going to be getting endless amount of complaints saying that we don't enforce those ordinances? So we can have it, but it's going to be hard to enforce, and we can't just divert all our resources. That's what I
Yeah, I think that this is a time, not necessarily a noise issue per se, because I do my own yard, and I know the difference between a gas blower and an electric blower, and they're both loud as all get out. And I doubt very seriously a resident is going to be able to say, ooh, that's an electric one, or ooh, that's a gas one. And, we're going to be calling people out to code enforcement. It's much like the fireworks. By the time they get there, they're gone. How do you enforce that? It'll eventually fix itself. That's my opinion.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I have to echo some of what she said. I really think that for us to put our resources in something like this is not needed at this moment. I really think that we should take our resources and focus on other things at the moment. And I do agree in terms of it will fix itself over time. I do like the city manager's idea of maybe putting it on a website or educating folks that this is prohibited, but I don't think we should spend our resources focusing on this issue when we have way bigger fish to fry as a council. I mean, we got 30-something projects in the pipeline. We got all of these things coming, and that doesn't include all of the other projects that we're talking about bringing to the city. And so, in my opinion, I think we just should make it known and then focus on something else, because I do believe our resources should not be focused on this. And I hear all kind of noise where I live. I live right by the freeway, so I'm used to it now. So, I mean, hey, I don't have a baby anymore. I used to have to listen to my baby crying all the time. Noise is noise. That's where we are. And honestly, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I got to say this. I like hearing noise because it means that I'm here and I'm present, right? And if it's completely silent, then I feel alone. Like, where's the world, right? So I'm okay with certain noise. It's not going to be something that you hear the entire day, but for us to focus our resources on it, I don't think so.
Mr. Mayor, for the record, if I can make a correction, we have 4 code enforcement officers, not 5.
Oh, okay, okay.
Through the chair.
Yes.
So what we should do probably is just, use our website to put, the time, because I think, a lot of our residents don't know about that noise, what times they should starting making noise up to,
Construction and,
yeah, because I don't think that a lot of people knows about that. Like, for example, on Saturdays, you cannot starting making noise until 9 a.m., right? Because even to tell you the truth, then the Pacific Railroad, the train goes by 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So, and boo, boo, boo. So all these noises, I agree that we cannot control all the noises. But I think if we starting to put message in our website so people understand that Monday to Friday is from 7 until, 10 p.m.? Yeah, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then Saturday is from 9 to 10 p.m. so people will understand because we do have some people complain of noise, apartment noise, right? Some neighbor playing loud music until midnight, whatever. So maybe they will understand. And then, to educate maybe the contractors, right? The landscaper contractors, because most of them don't live in our city, so they come from outside. Maybe through the annual licensing, when the landscaper come to renew their license, and maybe give them a sheet saying, be aware of the noise and be aware of this new law of these gas versus electric blowers. So maybe to educate them, because some of them probably do not know. So that's my 2 cents.
I just have one more question, City Manager. Do we, by any chance, do any mailing to the residents once a year at all? Because I was just thinking if we did a mailing to the residents, maybe we can include that, but I'm not sure. Do we?
No, we really got away from mailing due to the
Okay.
increase of stamps. We do
Sure.
a lot of online emailing.
Okay.
But yes, we do communicate with our residents and contractors, and I think I will work with Public Works and licensing to add maybe our current ordinance with their renewals and with their building permits or their license for the city.
Thank you.
Real quick question. So if you're a landscaper within our city, are you required to have a permit?
License, business license.
A business license?
Sure.
Okay. I think we just need to be a little bit stronger when it comes to that, because so we don't have to tell these guys or gals or whoever's doing the work that that there's times when they can start, but they start at 6:30, 7 o'clock. I mean, I just had a long day on a Friday at work or something, and then the next day Saturdays are meant to wake up late, or if you can, wake up late like 9 o'clock. But or whatever it is, but for that, that's just disrespectful, and these guys know better, and they should. The permits need to be looked at. Violations, I think this approach where we give people 30 days to on this type of stuff, instant violations. We need to just start. We're seeing some results and changes in these people in the people who are violating code and stuff. So, especially when you're in that business, if you're in this business, you should know better. It shouldn't come as a surprise. So.
To the chair.
Yeah.
Vaughn, in the 311 app, do they have a space for noise complaints?
I'm not sure, but what I was going to suggest that we can add that tab, as Councilmember Montero mentioned, due to this discussion. I think we should make a correction to the My 311 app and add this on there as far as noise complaints. So phone calls and those workers can actually do the work they're being tasked to do, and then we can take those online complaints and concerns and investigate those. I think educating, investigating, and spreading the word that this is not acceptable in the city, I think that would be the best approach.
From what I remember when I was younger, I know that the police officers are the ones who used to enforce the noise, noise complaints, like loud music after a certain period of times, right? Not that I ever had any loud house parties after 2 a.m, but has that changed on who would enforce the noise complaints?
There is a penal code section as a misdemeanor for loud and unreasonable noise. It's called 415, but seldom is it strictly enforced, and if you file charges like that in court, it's not taken very seriously. But there is a statute on that.
And for the record, the individual who brought this to my attention is not here, despite my telling her exactly when we have our meetings. So she's not here to respond to any of what we just said. So, okay. Thank you. So no action. There is action based on what everybody concurs. He should talk about. All right, the telehealth scheduling and locations. That's another item that I brought. I think there's a lot of questions with regards to the telehealth, and we want to make sure that every program that we have here in the city succeeds. And we have the right of the community to question certain things. The individual who spoke today is not the only one that has asked questions, so it's just to make that clear. So I talked to staff and people out there as well on what can we do to make sure that we focus the purpose, the tasks that the telehealth van is doing, so that there could be, I don't want to say accountability, but focus and something to be accountable to. Because right now we have the telehealth van that's out there and with no guidance from the city. What is it that we need? It's a service that we're supposed to be able to implement. It's not that person to come in here and do whatever we want. It's about us implementing a program. So different things that have popped up, questions with regards to that have popped up before is what kind of data do we need to get? What kind of data? I brought up some data, and then at times it's sufficient. At times it's like, we need more. We need something else. And I've even questioned some of the things. So where do we locate the criteria? There's people out there who say, no, they're not over here. They should be over here. They're spending too much time, or I don't see them, etc. Right? I mean, they could be like at public library locations, at some of the at the community center, parks. It's gonna be okay. Don't worry. Schools, the healthcare facilities. Probably urgent care or areas where where we could take care of it. So the operational hours. What are the operational hours going to be from this time to this time? What's the scheduling going to be? From this time to this time, one of the vans is going to be here. The other, from this time to this time, the other van's going to be here, and then success, different informations. How do you book? Is it solely going to be through the telehealth van, or is there an alternate way of booking so that you can book and then the telehealth van will show up to where you're located? That's a possibility. How do we promote it, and how do we let people know not only that we have these services that are going to be benefiting the community, and not just solely focusing on the unhoused or the homeless? This needs to be for the community members that need the services as well. It needs to be made available to it. And very recently, I did recommend somebody to the telehealth van, and they're working with this individual and her family. And this is not somebody that's unhoused. This is not somebody that's even in my area. This is somebody from Holly Glen, the Holly Glen area. No, South Bay 360 area. Okay? So, having that type of service available to the community, I think, is important. So again, going back to the metrics, what kind of data do we need? And just focusing the the purpose of what we have. So very recently, I know it was saying it's not my van, but in the absence of like this conversation today, I thought it would be a good idea to just put this thing to use to see, you know, our being able to help the Eaton fire victims. I mean, which seem to be the ones who were, I don't know, I don't want to even compare which area was impacted the most, but want to make sure that we help some of those people who lost a lot over there as well. We could have gone here or there, so we had to choose. So, and it was very successful, and I've got good feedback, and our county supervisor heard about it. I let her know that we did that, and she was very happy that we did that. Our assemblywoman was also very happy. So this is not a punitive thing at all. Okay, so I don't want you to think, anybody out there to think that that's what this is about at all. On the contrary, it's to try to like help focus everything, lay everything out. So that's why I believe it's important to put a committee together, Mr. City Manager, staff members, key staff members, to be able to lay all these things, different things that I kind of talked about, just so that, you know, that we just know what's going on, and that, you know, we all went through all the, you know, everything, went through it, laid things out, and have a structure here. It's not just carte blanche, you go, or not, I don't know if the carte blanche is just open-ended. You go here, blah, blah, blah. And now the residents will be able to see how, you know, this van is going to, these two vans are going to be used. I'm just going to ask the city manager if you have any feedback on this. I know we talked about it, or I just mentioned this idea to you, but is that something that you could do? What
Absolutely.
ideas do you have?
I love the suggestion. I think that I should initiate a committee, bring back an item at the next council meeting with council's approval. I think it's very important for everyone to be on the same page to be able to evaluate the program for success or non-success.
My idea was that organically, it'd be awesome if the committee could come up with some ideas, but of course, the council members here, if they feel strongly about something and some focus or something, you guys got to speak up and say something, you know, as well at the proper opportunity. But any comments? Ma'am?
To the chair.
Yes.
I was looking at this report and the data and overview. In the first page, it says quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you could take a look at that and tell me, is this similar or close to what you would be looking for? The first page.
Right.
Yeah. Is that anywhere near something? Or you need it to be more detailed?
I'm looking for more detail.
Okay.
I'm looking for more detail beyond this. Thank you for mentioning that. I don't know if you opened up the opportunity to to say more, but I've thrown out random ideas here and there. So I got to admit that my ideas haven't been that well put together when it comes to the data. But I know that the city manager and Kimberly Mack and Dulce, I've heard some of them, and even Mr. Rambo. So they kind of know what I'm going after, just so that we can justify the use of the money.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. I think it was 2 council meetings ago that I request and I given a list to the city manager on what I'd like to see, because I too wanted to know more information, simply because we have folks coming asking, how is the program impactful and what are the success stories? And so I did request that information as well. So I totally understand. So it's just a matter of us getting on the same page and making sure that we're getting the information that we all feel comfortable with, so that we can assure the residents that this program is successful. And also give guidance to Rambo and letting him know where he needs to improve and where he's doing a great job with this program. But I do think the program is a great program. I think it's an innovative program. And it's just us coming to an agreement and being on the right page and getting the appropriate data. So, thank you.
And all the other scheduling and all that other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
To the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Some of the questions that I'm being posed with from the community is, and I don't know if we're allowed to ask questions now or not.
No, this is,
You could get brief questions and answers from telehealth representatives.
Because some of the questions that we have is, does the telehealth company have more than just Hawthorne as a customer inside of Hawthorne? Do you have other customers inside Hawthorne?
yeah, just,
Yes, please.
so just like try to give as brief answers as possible, just so we could, no advocacy right now, obviously,
Yeah,
because we need just,
just yes or no's are good. Do you have other clients inside of Hawthorne besides Hawthorne?
No, Hawthorne is our only client for Hawthorne.
Okay.
In terms of, I assume you mean in regards to clients paying us for Hawthorne, correct?
Well, no. Do you do business
outside?
out with anyone else other than the
No.
city of Hawthorne within Hawthorne?
No.
So you don't have nonprofits that you do business with in Hawthorne?
No, we don't, not for
Okay.
telehealth van, no,
Okay, so when you're in Hawthorne, you're working for the city?
100%.
Okay, good.
Every therapist, the 2 therapists we have in Hawthorne are full-time just for the Hawthorne residents.
Okay, but you don't have another van going around doing other business?
No.
Okay,
If we have a van driving through Hawthorne, it's because we have a fleet, but your 2 telehealth vans are strictly for the city of Hawthorne.
okay. And then, are we billed per client or per day, per encounter? How are we billed?
You're billed per day.
Per day?
It's all in your Q&A.
The $640, right?
I saw that, but I couldn't
No,
tell.
it's okay.
Yeah.
You're billed per day, and that each van comes with, of course, its full-time therapist, its full-time technician driver, and all the maintenance.
Okay. And then, I didn't understand one thing that you wrote in here on the last page under community center adaptation. You put no cost options ensuring accessibility for all income levels. I don't understand why that's in there if we're the one paying for it. Anyone in Hawthorne with a Hawthorne resident should be able to come up to you
They
and
can.
get care.
They can. If there is something confusing about the statement
Well, can you tell me what that statement means?
on the community flyer, are you speaking of
I'm
the?
looking at your Q&A with the answers on it.
Yeah. Now, which question?
It's the I don't know what
The last
question is.
page?
Last page, number 4, bullet 4, you said no cost options, ensuring accessibility.
Councilwoman, can you raise your packet up before I can see what page you're on, please?
It's your last page, bullet
Yeah.
point 4.
Number
4.
11, retention strategies, correct?
No, up above. Bullet number 4.
Oh, no cost options ensuring accessibility for all income. Well, it's just clearly just saying that there's no cost at all to anyone, no matter where they are in the spectrum, be it if it's like to the mayor's point, be it if it's they're unhoused or if they're very wealthy, there's no cost to anyone at all. It was just a point that we brought in there, ensuring that they all have accessibility to
Okay,
it.
you might want to take out options then. Because if that's the only
I understand.
option.
The word,
there-
okay.
Yeah, that
I'll
kind of
take the
threw
word
me
out.
off. It's like, what other option do they have? What do we
understand.
don't know about? Okay. And I believe that was all that I had. Thank you.
Sir?
Through the chair, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Rambo.
Good evening.
So, clarify something for me because Councilwoman Fay just opened my eyes. So when you said you do not have other clients besides Hawthorne, so what is your relationship with the behavioral health service when you go to Patterson? You consider those parents, like the women's shelter, as part of the Hawthorne contract, or do you have
it
a
is.
contract with BHS?
No, I don't have a contract with telehealth van with BHS at all, right?
So you counting those encounter at the Patterson shelter as part of Hawthorne?
100%, because they're from Hawthorne residences.
Are they resident of Hawthorne? Those,
Yes.
Okay. So for me, I thank you for the report and the Q&A. What I would like to see on these numbers, okay, I want to see duplicated clients and underduplicated. Let's say if you have 10 clients, so those are they're unduplicated clients, right? So there was the 10 people that come to the van all the time, but how many times those that they count them duplicated clients? So how many times you serve one client in a month? Let's say they can come 3-4 times. See, that's what you need to say.
We have that. I'll have it.
Duplicated and unduplicated clients. How many of those that you've been seeing? On a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis. It depends how the committee is
I'll
going to
print it
decide.
I'll do that type of presentation for you.
Yes,
next
because
time.
that's what we need to see, duplicated and unduplicated clients. And I agree with Mr. Mayor that the telehealth van should be open to all residents in the city of Hawthorne, because I have to say this is a good program because we didn't have no mental health service in the city of Hawthorne, and LA County is supposed to provide health care and mental health care to the city, but we do not have those access to health, especially mental health service, because there is a shortage of mental health clinicians out there. So it is important for us to demonstrate that this program is successful, because as you know, you are funding through the HAPA program, that is the federal dollar that came because of COVID-19, and now that money is going to go away, right? And then I don't see no money else coming from the federal government. So we have to justify, if we're going to bring some other part of money, we have to justify the program is critical and vital for the benefit of the resident of Hawthorne, regardless of their income, right? Like Ms. Fay and Mr. Varga have said, if it's homeless or not homeless, but everybody needs mental health, because there is a lot of struggle out there, a lot of challenge out there, a lot of people suffering. So, and I have to commend you and our city manager to send you to the Santa Anita Park to help those victims of fire, because mental health was an issue that the county could not satisfy every single people in this county, because we have 88 cities under LA County.
Yes.
And the health care needs a lot of improvement there. So I have to say, it is for me, like Mr. Mayor said, it's a program that we would like to continuing, but we have to demonstrate results. And that's the bottom line. Because in the day economy, you have to have results, you have to have outcomes. And I know you guys are out there doing work, because I see that, because I'm on the street 24/7 almost. Northgate, Morrison, I drive all these areas. So, but we need to see it, a data.
I'll take care of
It's
it.
very important. Like I said, duplicated, unduplicated, and because like one of our residents mentioned, it's not $600 per patient. It's $600 per van, and that van can see 10 people or 15 people a day.
That's correct.
Okay? So that's the mentality we have to educate ourselves to. So thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Through the chair, I just have one request for Mr. Rambo.
Yes, sir.
When we have an agenda item such as this, discussion action, and you have documents, I just request that you provide these documents to the city clerk's office the week prior, so that the public knows that we could post it on the agenda, so they could follow along as well. Okay?
Understood. Thank you very much.
Okay.
To the chair. One more question.
Okay, then I want to make some comments.
I did find one more question that I'm
Okay.
being asked about your organization. Do you have a profit and a nonprofit business with the same name?
I do.
And does that nonprofit do any business inside of Hawthorne?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for your question.
If I can get clarity on the committee's assignments as far as what the council would like the committee to bring back as far as metrics on measuring the success of this program.
You know what?
Because I think I missed the.
Look,
I
okay,
missed
no, that's a valid question. How about, I think if you kind of have heard what we've talked about, you've heard of what the members of the council have talked about, ideas, things that were been thrown out. I think if you could start off by giving us a quote-unquote first draft of the metrics that you guys proposed, and then we'll look those over, and then we just kind of like add to it or take away or whatever the heck we need to do.
No, thank you.
To the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
If I could ask real quick, you outlines some compliance and reporting. It says court mandated documentation and reporting capabilities, and then county capability reporting format for DHS requirements. What are those? What's in those reports? Because that might solve our problem.
So we do court-mandated therapy sessions. So we work with Dulce at Hawthorne Memorial Park for the unhoused, getting them emergency housing vouchers, and a lot of times they're in court and have to show proof that they're getting therapy to continue on with services. So we provide that service for them.
What do you give them that shows the court that they're getting therapy?
The therapist writes a letter stating that they received however many sessions, because they want to make sure that they're getting this, that they're seeing the sessions. They can't put anything as far as, details in regards to the case because it's HIPAA compliant, but they can definitely let them know that they are receiving services.
Okay, because I think part of the challenge that I'm hearing is that we have no way of knowing when you say you saw 25 patients that day. How do we know if those 25 patients are Hawthorne residents? Or, and I'm not saying you do this, but it's asked, and I have to be able to defend what you do for us. And I can't, if I can't answer this question, how do we know those 25 were actually seen inside Hawthorne and not something that was done somewhere else but being double counted in the billing to Hawthorne? I'm not challenging your integrity, but these are the questions that we're asked, and I think that's what we're trying to come to. How can we get data like that without violating HIPAA or somebody's privacy? Because we don't want names per se, but I need to be able to have some identifier to say this patient was seen.
Okay, I'll have to look into the HIPAA, but I know that when we do give reports, we can do like the first initial, last name. I'm not sure as far as, I know we have the data because we work with Dulce. We're actually at the Memorial Park. She does a lot of like the case management part, and she refers them over. It's like a whole intake process before they get to us. And then we have where we go park at, where they walk up and they're in the city of Hawthorne. So
because
if they are transparent,
Yeah.
when providing us their address or that information, I mean, that's what we have to show. But as far as getting that,
But how
to
can you show, what do you show us is the thing.
Yeah, I don't think from a HIPAA standpoint we can show where they live per se.
All we care about is if they live in Hawthorne.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this presentation here, it kind of shows, I think, 4 of the 5 days were in Memorial Park. To give you an idea, this would help you quantify the numbers. One session is once a week. So, for example, if we're doing the women's shelter or something like that, and they're seeing regular sessions, because it's pretty much the only therapist they have to be released to their kids, they're seeing it. So you can imagine that one woman is seeing that therapist every Monday at 3 o'clock. So that kind of gives you an idea when you're speaking of, like, let's say 20 women who all have to see their therapist once a week. And it's the same. So if we're parked in Memorial Park every day, I think that what we can probably do, to Mayor's point, is we'll give you everything, all the data that we could give you, and then just kind of let us know what's important, what's not important. Because we use TherapyMate, which is HIPAA compliant software, so we can create the data or spreadsheets as you see fit, and you can just kind of say, okay, this is too much, but we want to keep looking at these numbers here.
Yeah, because I think if we can answer that for the community, then, because your concept is wonderful. I mean, but they don't know that it works. They don't know that it's working for Hawthorne residents, because all we see is 25 people and we're paying a bill.
Yeah.
But who are the 25 people per se? Are they Hawthorne residents? So if you can answer that for us, I'm sure you won't be standing here again.
We'll find a way. It's okay.
At least annually you might, because we want to see what we're doing. But
Through the chair, I have a recommendation, because see, I have worked for healthcare facilities and clinics, for almost 30 years. What you need to do for us, you don't need to put names, but give each client an ID number.
Yes, we have
that. Okay, so give them an ID number, and then, if you create like a spreadsheet, right? So you're gonna have 2 columns, they'll say resident or non-residents. because like you said, the HIPAA is very critical because you cannot disclose no information, especially where they live, anything like that. So, but you can add resident or non-resident. So that you put a check mark on that.
Let me
okay?
find out from a HIPAA standpoint though if we can ask them if they live here, because a lot of them are unhoused. If they are unhoused, let me find out how we can actually do that where we're not in violation
Well,
of it.
also you can ask what was their last address.
Okay,
Their
well-
last, if their last resident, like for example, you can say resident, non-resident, or unknown address prior to service.
We'll work on that. We'll definitely do
Okay.
the number. That way you can see how many sessions they're having. And we'll work on some of them from your tiny homes, for example. We no longer park at tiny homes because they prefer to walk to Memorial Park. So that's an example. Every single time they get into the van, they must sign a sheet letting them know, that they're from a legal standpoint. So we'll work on that. We'll give you the plethora of solutions.
And current residents will be tiny homes.
Right.
So you know
Maybe
what I
we'll
mean?
put that on the
So,
sheet, that which place they're actually.
You could, because if you want to be transparent and direct to ask all these questions to answer, so you have to say this client came from tiny home, this client came from the parent shelter that we know is in Hawthorne, so they live there. That's their resident until they got their kids and move on somewhere else. This is their resident. So that's the kind of thing you need to be specific.
We'll put the dots,
Yeah,
and
be-
we'll give it to them as
yeah,
options.
be
and maybe,
specific.
But-
If you
but we-
see,
But we will make one of the options that they can pass on answering, just in
Yes,
case they.
yes.
But we will put that on there as dots as an option, and use it as an optional answering. That way they're
and
releasing
give
it
us
for
that, and then if I have some correction, I'll make some
Yes,
corrections.
we'll
and
do
back
that.
to you.
We'll do that. 100%.
Thank you.
Mayor.
To the chair. Vaughn, real quick, looking at the contract, if I'm not mistaken, it was for Hawthorne residents only, right?
I'm not aware of that. I would have to have the contract in front of me.
Yeah.
I can assume it says that.
Yeah.
We need to-
Because if it's
sure.
not, then that's something the committee needs to look at too, because, I don't know, maybe that's something we want to address.
The other thing that also we have to understand is mental health, when given to the homeless, they can live anywhere because they don't have no address. Right. So if they're here to get the service, they consider here. Okay, so that's another thing that the HIPAA does not allow you to ask, because even on the school district, if the kids on the foster parents or here, they put non-permanent address. It is, okay?
Well,
so because of the HIPAA and the stuff like
it's
that.
It's tricky because when we would park, sometimes a van would pull up, for example, or they lived in the van there, like at the park, for example. And if they got out and met a therapist, it would be difficult for our therapist to say, we're not going to take care of you.
Quiet in the audience,
So
please.
if you can come up with a solution of how we can judge them without, because in some cases, because they're in Hawthorne. Now, mind you, they are signing this form before they get in. Majority of the clients who come, we're parked at your park. We're parked at key places. We don't really do a lot of the roaming like we used to do because they're doing regular sessions. So majority of the people, when you're looking at the numbers, for example, those are regular sessions. That means that these two vans, they're in lines waiting to see their therapist to make sure that they can get their housed, to make sure they can get their vouchers, etc. So if you can come up with how you would like us to frame it to them without putting them against
Right.
that, we're open to it.
Again, that's something for the committee, but I've been in the medical field for 30 years, and it's never been a HIPAA violation. Ask them what their address is.
Yes,
Yeah. Now, giving it to us, it may be something different, but
Right.
every medical doctor I've ever seen has asked
we
for
do
my
have
address.
It. We do.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
you
saying-
have it, but okay.
Right, you understand, but printing out for is when it gets tricky, which is what we found from the HIPAA standpoint. We because we do it for the military, and so these are things that we'll find a way to do it where you can kind of track, because the majority of the people now, for example, don't necessarily have a place to live.
Correct.
So it got tricky. We used to do that, and they would sleep in cars, and it was kind of hitting this red flag because they didn't have a place to live. But we'll find a way to sort it through since if the contract
Can
is
we
based on
can we
that.
move on to council level, because it's right now becoming like a presentation. It's a discussion action at a council level.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Oh, wow, look at that, dude. Oh, my God. Wow, look at that. All right, so we should have that committee. Just get that committee going. And there's certain things that I just...
Mr. Mayor, I just have concerns on the committee and not getting true direction. I know my colleague Robert has wrote down some notes, but I see the direction of the conversations going to who's being provided services. Is that what we want to know?
Look, the initial purpose of what I wanted was to define their role, okay?
But the conversation's changed to who's being served.
No. Let's just stick to the original thing, and then these are other considerations you could do separate from the main purpose, which was what I intended. Define the objectives, determine the locations, the scheduling aspect of it, the promotion and outreach of it, and the data. That's one thing. Okay?
Thank you.
But what when I was taking notes right now, I was thinking, hey, you know, the committee could do this, this, and that as well. But no, we need this to be addressed. I do believe that this needs to be something that is for the Hawthorne residents. We need to, the Hawthorne residents. We're going to tell you what data to give us. We can't have you give us the data and we select from there. That's a different approach, because when we've done that before, we're still in the same position. So we're going to tell you the data. So the committee can determine based on our conversations what kind of data would be appropriate and however deeper. And if you happen to have that data, then you can package it. And if you don't have the data, then you're going to put it together. So we can't do it the way it's happened before. One thing that did stand out question-wise is that the gentleman has the nonprofit aspect and then the profit aspect. I don't think that that's something that the committee should be able to delve into, but if you could talk to the city manager and just explain to it so that he could give us maybe possibly a memo how that's distinguished, and if there's we can't have any commingling of anything. I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up with your operation, okay? Because that has come up before to me. Tell me, can you just tell me from where you're at, how many other cities do you have this operation in? Okay, so let's just have that explained through our city managers. Sir, is that something you could just gather just to sort it out?
Absolutely. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. Look, I think that this whole thing with BHS that came up, and having a van be located at a agency that's already providing behavioral health and mental health services, just sort of redundant. That's what they do. They go there for that. So that's not just in addition. That's not adding to, you know, the options that we have and the services that we're offering our residents. So that has to stop, I believe. You know, we can't be having you guys go over there or at the whatever the other organizations. We have like a lot of nonprofits, so that just needs to be separate. Again, the focus on the homeless. I think that we need to shift to the residents. Offering this to the residents. The residents. We need to start focusing on the residents. No. No. Remember, you're starting to go in a different direction, man. Don't do it, please. We need to start focusing on the residents. You have helped some of the residents who actually live here that are not homeless. I think we just need to refocus the energy there to help them. One thing that I'm kind of concerned about is that we have people who are regularly using this service every week as if it were a substitute for going into a brick and mortar service location. To me, and you guys could disagree, whatever, or maybe agree, is that I see this as a triage type of situation where the telehealth van is out there. people don't know what to do. They don't know how to talk about this. They don't even know who to talk to about mental health. You guys get them set up to direct them to a location where they could go follow up. That way, if you do it that way, I think that you could serve a lot more people and orient a lot more people and get them set up for the services that they need, as opposed to just having an hour block with the same person every week or every day at this point. You know, so you have your set clients. And what happens if they don't show up to the park? That's an hour that you lost, and you know, where you got to wait for somebody. You know, I think being in strategic locations that the committee could determine, and setting them up so that they could know where to go. Hey, now that we talked to you, we're going to connect you. We're going to see what's going on. These are the services. Now you could go to the BHS, etc., or whatever the bridge. What's the Bridge of Hope? Okay, they should have their own mental health professionals there as well. So I don't want it to be a substitute for, you know, just a continuous thing. I just want to make sure that people get access to the services, and for you guys to set them up. Do you know what I'm saying? Mr. City Manager, kind of.
Absolutely. Information's been received. The committee will work on items for approval at the next council meeting.
But no, on this here, okay. All this other extra stuff that I mentioned to you, that you could probably do by discussing it with him. The extra stuff, the questions, the more juicy stuff.
Understood.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Yeah. All right. 8 o'clock, man. This is awesome. Okay, so the last item is mine. It's the community usage of the Hawthorne Aquatic Center. One of the best memories I had was when we used to go with my mom. Used to take myself and my sister and my little brothers. We would go to the Hawthorne Community Swimming Pool. We also went to the YMCA on Ramona. You guys remember when that was open? But that kind of closed up. And, you know, we used to go between that and the Hawthorne Community, and plus the wading pools that we used to have. So I believe that right now we need to, this is something that the community, this last summer, I went to the, I just say I want to, you know, cool off, jump in the pool. And so I would go like every other day or something to the pool. My brother used to go. But the thing is, you jump in and then you have to jump out. And why? So, because we got these other people lined up to do scuba diving and all this other stuff going on. It's like, you know, honestly, that's annoying. So we need to serve the Hawthorne residents first, and having this as a recreational option, I think, would be the best, okay? So, for example, during the summer, what do we have? I think I have the notes right here. Well, whatever it is, we want to just establish a year-round recreational swimming. Okay, so when people get out of work, the students get out of class, they just jump in the pool. You know, it might be cold, but it's a heated pool, right? And
yes, it is.
So it's something that the residents need to be able to have access to. Do some laps, jump in the pool, you know, just kind of just do the exercise, you know. People who have arthritis be able to use that as therapy, you know, just, you know, natural exercise. We need to make sure that we make it available for the community. So Monday through Friday, the year-round, days other than the summer, it would be great if we could have it from 4 to 6. I already talked to the city manager about some of this. And then Saturday and Sunday, we could have it be from 11 to 1. Other than the summer. So those were the hours. Monday through Friday, 4 to 6. Saturday to Sunday, 11 through 1. But then on the summer, I think we could be opening this up to, on Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3. 1 to 3 for, you know, moms that want to bring their kids to just kind of do some practice or just jump in there and just have a little bit of fun. But then we could reopen at 6 to 8 so that those individuals who get out of work can come and just do laps, jump in the pool, and just, you know, just do a little bit of exercise in there, right? We need that option. Then Saturday through Sunday, it'd be great if we could have this thing open up from 1 to 5. Give them a good, nice, during the summer when people are trying to cool off, man. You can't have like, oh, jump in and then you got to jump out. Used to be 1 to 2. So now we could probably have it from 1 to 3. We could have it from 1 to 5. So it's just like about opening up the availability to the swimming pool. I did talk to the city manager about this concern, so I wanted to bring it before you guys.
Through the chair.
Sir.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because I think in the past what we did when the city was having budget issue, they opened that they did a lot of programs there that people would pay for the service. So since we're on a good standing, so I do agree that the community should be benefit because a lot of, especially during the summertime, it's hot, right? And then and a lot of kids don't have no place to go. And believe it or not, some of the kids that have lived right here in Hawthorne, they never been at the beach. so it's good for them to learn how to swim and stuff like that. So I agree with you. We can accommodate our residents first because that is what it was all about. So thank you.
And to add to that, we would be charging $1 for children under 17. And then $2 per person. That won't change. Everybody's going to be contributing their piece. And from what my estimates were, looking at this thing on penciling it out, this would approximate whatever amount of funds we were generating from the permits that were occupying those time slots. So I think it's be something good. Look, I mean, I think we're a nice middle-class community, but there's elements within our community that need to have these services too. That are recently moved in. That this is probably like some of the only sources of recreation that they have. Not everybody has the luxury of going to the mountains and skiing or going to the lake and jumping in a lake and doing all these fancy little trips and stuff like some of our ritzy neighbors from from whatever. So I think this is something we just need to maintain. I wish we would have had the summer camp. I don't know why we sold that off to somebody who just didn't even do anything with it, but okay. Got something?
We're good. I would like to add, for those that don't know, we're doing an improvement there next year, part of the City Hall project. We will do a facade improvement at the Aquatic Center, so I do appreciate the feedback, and I think our citizens, the public, will enjoy the new look of the swimming pool or aquatic center. Yeah. Thank you.
I know you've used that thing, Hawthorne First. That's what you've used. I don't want to take over, but yeah, we have to be able to think of our residents. I'm not going to use it. Okay, I promise. It's yours. It's yours. It's her little thing, Hawthorne First. But it's a good model. All right. Thank you, folks. I think somebody's hungry that I see here. But that's not a problem because look at, we were efficient. Go ahead, Ms. City Treasurer. Comments, please.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Thank you for coming out, being a part of the process. I didn't get to say so, but I wish Peggy the best of luck on her retirement and thank her for her many years of service. Another thank you to HPD for providing their assistance during the Eden fires. Since the holidays, we've rolled over 3 CD. Rates are still at an all-time high. We did roll 3 over, and they all were over 4.5%, which is really good. How our president is demanding that the Fed cut interest rates really soon, so we'll see how that goes. I was thankful. Thank you to city staff. I did donate canned goods to the food drive and books to the book drive. I wanted to highlight that I attended a community day at the Anointed Feet Dance Studio over on Hawthorne Boulevard. It was a great day. They did an introduction to all their dance classes. $15, pay as you go, all ages, 6 days a week. It was Zumba, it was line dancing, it was a lot of fun. In my effort, in my New Year's, I guess you could say, resolution with fitness, I just wanted to highlight that there are a lot of small businesses in Hawthorne. They do a lot of great things. Sweet Science Gym offers great boxing classes. Systems Training Centers offers great self-defense classes. I've sort of been around the city a lot lately. I went and visited Glow and Flow. It's an awesome store. They have great products. I've never seen business owners that know every product in their store. That was amazing, and they offer a lot of small business products in their store. In any case, as we, Lunar New Year is upon us tomorrow, so I just wanted to say, as you celebrate, I wish you good fortune in the new year of the snake, and may you rise higher step by step. I do want to say we gave out proclamations and thank yous tonight for everyone's work, but I wanted to say a thank you to the city manager and all the department heads and their efforts. Like, you guys do not get enough accolades. I mean, I personally think you guys all need your own proclamation because you do a lot, and I don't think a lot of people see it enough. And to deal with council daily, I mean, you guys don't get enough accolades on keeping this city running with the direction of the city manager. So I thank you. I see it, and I just wanted to say thank you myself, but you all deserve your own proclamations if it was up to me. Maybe city council can buy you all lunch for a change, right? Not you guys arrange the lunch and the city pays for the lunch, but how about city council treats you guys to lunch? How about that? Anyway, I also had a question. So as we were speaking about the telehealth committee, I would like to know, is there something saying that I can't be a part of that? And I'm only saying that to say it's because I can help. I was a director of finance for 7 years for a nonprofit mental health agency. And as I listened to many of your questions about data, what goes into it, that was part of my job. So I would like to know if there is something saying that I can't, as an elected official, be a part of that to help.
I'll have to look into that issue.
Thank you.
and let
Thank you,
know.
thank you, thank you.
The city manager, I think, gets to make those decisions.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming out, and have a great night. And I look forward to hearing a response on that. Thank you.
Thank you, and that's a great suggestion, especially when we're asking a lot of the financial things and just get to the root of it. Ms. City Clerk.
Okay, I'm putting the timer on myself here. So I want to say congratulations to Peggy. It's been great working with Peggy. I'm sure I worked her nerves a bit, asking for things to be put on the website and things like that. Wanted to also thank Ronnie. I don't know if I haven't seen Ronnie in a few days. I want to thank Delta Sigma Theta. I want to thank volunteers, and I also want to thank the telehealth fans for coming to the food drive and for helping at all times. And it's been really great working with telehealth because we realize that not every person who is living in a house is actually mentally well. So we wanted to make sure that we offered that service to people who came to the food drive as well. Wanted to just give you guys a little overview of the responsibilities of the clerk because a lot of people don't know everything that the clerk does. So I wrote a little list here. Okay, great. So we create agendas, we maintain the city records, we maintain the official seal for the city, we administer oaths to all elected officials, commissioners, and some employees. We help candidates with their campaigns to be in compliance, work with the FPPC. We work in tandem with the city attorney's office for claims, subpoenas, complaints, and also public records requests. We maintain and index meeting minutes. We serve as compliance officers for the Political Reform Act, the Brown Act, and the California Public Records Act. Speaking of agenda, we have changed our agenda system. So some people have had some issues maybe online with printing their agenda or accessing it. If you do, you can please make sure you call our office. We're working through some kinks. But I want to thank the staff, and I really want to thank everybody here for trusting me with the migration and with the knowledge that we needed to change systems so that we had something that was more comprehensive and would benefit the city more. We're talking about agenda creation. This software actually handles public record requests. It handles commissioner appointments and commissioner applications and whatnot. And it also holds our contracts. So we have a fully, comprehensive system that will help the city run more smoothly as it pertains from my stand anyways. Want to thank the police department for their service. Really do appreciate you all. Always amazing, Chief. Also want to, offer condolences to Angie Reyes English. Her oldest brother passed away, which is why she hasn't been here. Want to send her virtual hugs wherever she is. And that is it for me. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Welcome to another welcome to our newest member of the City Council, Councilmember Faye Johnson. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm the baby of the family, so I'm gonna start whining. No, just kidding.
Oh.
Again, thank you to Peggy. I didn't get a chance to really meet her, but she sounded like a terrific asset to the city. So I missing her and not having an opportunity to spend some time with her. Again, we'd like to thank the police for all their work in the city. We greatly appreciate you. And I also want to give some shout out to Vaughn and Public Works for what they did during the fires. They allowed the rescue workers to park right out here while they were sleeping for free, I believe, in the Marriott next door. They opened all this up for them to be able to park their vehicles. And Public Works and Vaughn worked all that out. So these are some of the great things that all the city is doing. And I know that the chief sometimes feels like he gets too much attention and the other departments don't. But I gave them a shout out on my Instagram page for what Public Works and Vaughn was able to do over here. I too know of the Anointed Feet. They actually did a couple years ago, they did a whole child sex trafficking program at their facility to train people. They brought people in to train the young ladies and the young men that use the facility on how to spot the people that are grooming our children, especially when they go off to college, how they're grooming these children and pulling them into sex trafficking. So I agree, we have a lot of good small mom and pop shops around here that are doing good for our community. I mean, by the time I walked away, I was taking all the electronic devices from my children. You will never see that again. But no, they're actually going through Fortnite to get to our children and different other programs that they play on these consoles, and they start grooming them. So Anointed Feet did that. So they did outstanding job. On to the telehealth, I want to make sure that being in the medical field, I understand the importance of mental health. And not everybody that's walking around with it looking like it's all together is really all together. I think we're all struggling. We all have issues. Life is rough at times. And what we're seeing now is an influx of the people from the Palisades and the Eaton Fire coming into Hawthorne looking for rentals. And they're looking for this because they went into Manhattan Beach and Hermosa Beach and they can't afford it. The rent is off the charts over there. So they're coming into our community. And I think it's a nice thing if we aren't just offering everything that we have to homeless. Because people that, like Dana was saying, I think it was Dana, that just because you have a home doesn't mean you're not struggling. And we need to take that into consideration when we're offering everything that we offer from the city. And I do believe with the telehealth, I agree with you, Mayor, that this can't be a substitute for getting them into the system and getting them care that can be continuous. So that might be something we want to look at in the committee of, how long will we allow that type of care to be given? Because they do need to get into the system, because it's available. They can get medical care, and we can help them do that. And to close out, keep in remembrance our very first Hawthorne mayor, Guy Hawker, has passed away. And I'd like to, how do I say that?
Yeah.
Close
we
the
will,
meeting.
We will.
Yes. And that's all. Thank you.
Councilmember Monteiro.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming and listening us at home. Great meeting. I have to first, say again, Peggy was an asset for, like she said, 40 years. She like almost grew up inside these walls. So we will miss her because she, provides outstanding service to us. And but like she said, she's not going to go away, so she'll come and visit. But I wish her all good luck in her new adventures. Again, like I have to say, I'm not surprised. Our Hawthorne Police Department is in the forefront of everything. They the pioneers of so many programs that has been launched internationally all over the world. So I'm not surprised that they were called to duty when those fires were going on the Pacific Palisade and also at the Altadena. And I have to say thank you to the chief because I was out of the country, but every 4 hours I would get emails from him updating about what was going on in Hawthorne and also what they were doing to help those other police departments and firefighters and first responders to go help evacuate people, to do security, et cetera, et cetera. So I have to say thank you for all that was done. 30 officers, that's a lot of big number for us that we only have 90 officers. I want to say thank you again to our city manager because he also was informing me through via emails what was going on, and I have to take my hat to him also because I'm pretty sure he's the one who direct the telehealth van to go to help those individuals from the Eaton fire, and also, like I said, the public works and all the departments, because I think it was a lot of work done to prepare because it was a lot of miscommunication going on. Even in some of the Southway residents get notification to evacuate, so a lot of people were nervous. So, but thanks God that we are able to provide a sense of safety, security, and our office, the public work in the city hall did their duty. So thank you again to all of you for showing that Hawthorne does care and we are the city of good neighbors. So thank you very much for that. Definitely, I agree with Ms. Valentine that we need to maybe upgrade our website, how to people to navigate, because especially a lot of seniors, even myself, I'm a senior, I have challenge when it comes to navigate all this computer technology. So we need to have information very accessible right there. When you open it, you can see it. So I agree that maybe we need to revamp the website, especially when it comes to emergency preparedness or location where people can go. So we probably have to collaborate with the schools because, like I mentioned, I know for a fact that all the 11 schools for Hawthorne School District are certified Red Cross shelters. So that's something that maybe we can put in our website. So it's very good that happened. So Michael Migo mentioned about the Rose Parade, right? That's something that I think in the past, long time ago, Hawthorne did participate on Rose Parade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think the reason that we have not said we wanted to participate because I think nowadays to put a boat into the parade costs like $100,000, something like that. So it's kind of things that we need to look at it. If we really want to do that, or maybe we want to do our own parade, right? Like a Christmas parade. So something to think about. Thank you, Ms. Deborah, for coming about the autism walk. I will talk to my staff, and I'll talk to Vaughn and the Parks and Recs to see what can we do to help again for the second annual autism walk. Okay. again, I have to say, we have to figure it out, in a sense, if the telehealth van is working for us, is doing the great job, and I think they are. But we just have to be transparent and make sure that there is no misinformation going on, because fake news, can devastate any program. So we want to make sure that they're doing the job they're supposed to be doing, and they're serving our community. And I do agree that we have to open the doors. And believe it or not, healthcare facilities, even the telehealth, they have mandate by the federal government. If somebody show up into their door, they cannot refuse to provide them care. Okay, and special because this program is a federal funding, literally it's a federal funding program because it came through the HOPA program. So we have to be very careful over there if we don't discriminate. But we need to give more service to our community, like Mr. Mayor said, not just the homeless, but the community in general, and we make sure that they will provide that. I have to say that thank you to Ms. Manny for bringing the $750,000 for to improve our park, especially the Holly Park bathrooms, because all these parks bathrooms need to be renovated. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. So again, my heart goes to the Guy Harker's families, because I know him for 25 years as the first elected mayor of Hawthorne, but also a real estate mogul in the city, and also part of the Kiwanis Club. And also, Guy Harker went to a transformation, to a rebirth. From the time he was mayor until he became a community involvement guy, every event that we put together in the city, he donates money to those programs. So my heart goes to the families, that our prayers are with them. I promised to the family of Mr. Pablo Cayetano, the first Latino elected council member, that we will do something for his to celebrate his life. So I'm going to try to put something together with the help of our city manager, maybe for the first week of the Cesar Chavez week. You know how Cesar Chavez, because Pablo was very involved with labor, and he dedicated his entire life to Hawthorne. So I don't think we should just let him to the sunset without paying some tribute to his character. So I'm going to put something together, and I hope you guys all enjoy. The other thing that I want you, Mr. Mayor, maybe to give a directive to Vaughn, is to bring back next meeting this assignment, all the committee assignment, right? Because now we have a new council member. So we have to delegate her to go to some of these meetings, okay? And I want to thank Kimberly Mack for sending us this memo regarding the federal funding. As you know, our president last night said to stop all funding programs and loans to anybody. So she have reassured us that our housing voucher program, Section 8, is not going to be impacted this time. We don't know in the future. So thank you for the memo, because we started to get phone calls, people saying, my voucher is going to be away, I'm not going to get food for my kids, blah, 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 blah. So I think I'll stop. Oh, actually, next month I'm going to bring you, my colleagues, a good news, and I would love your blessing on it. I was contacted by the Cape Verdean Olympic Committee because they plan to come to the Olympics in 2028. So they want to see if we, the city of Hawthorne, can adopt them and help them because they have to come, like before they go to the village in UCLA, so they have to find lodging for 2 weeks, place to train, like boxing, some other places, tracking field. So they want us to help. So I promised them they'll talk to the city council, to my mayor, and for us to start thinking about what can we help with my country. Okay, so, because that's what I was born. I'm proud to be an American citizen. I've been here for 42 years. So like I said, but still my umbilical cord is still in those islands on the west coast of Africa. So thank you and have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Pro Tem Manning?
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna be quick. I'm tired and I'm hungry. And my council fellow colleagues, they didn't took up all the time, so I'm ready to go so I can eat. So I'm gonna say only a few things. Business Expo, put it on your calendar, April 24th, 2025. Happy New Year. Women's History Month, March 29th. Mother's Day, May 10th. My condolences to Guy Hockert and his family. Congratulations, Peggy, on retirement. I also want to thank Kimberly Mack for sending that memo. When I got it, I totally freaked out. But I calmed down after talking to our city manager. So thank you so much for sending that. Yeah, that's it for me. Business Expo, April 24th. Yeah. Oh, anybody, please, if you want to volunteer, you want to attend, please see me. Hint, hint, Ms. Baboa?
Mayor Pro Tem, do we have a time for that, for the record?
Yes, so the Women's History Month is 11 a.m. The Mother's Day is 11 a.m. And the Business Expo is 3 p.m., 3 to 7 p.m. We giving food at all of these events. We are also going to have entertainment. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you guys all for being here with us. It's 8:30, so it's a good time, and I'm hungry too. So, but we'll get to eat too. And it's kind of funny because the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the canned goods drive. Talking about chicken soup. I kind of would love some chicken soup right now, right? But
yes,
it's going to be on January 31st, and the drop-off locations are here in City Hall. So once you come in here, you could go to the HR department, the City Hall manager's office, and the lobby. So you could drop them off on January 31st. Canned goods drives, okay? Then we have the Community Cleanup Day, which is going to be Saturday, March 15th. And the collection point, the gathering point is at Betty Ainsworth Sports Center in the parking lot. Once you show up, you'll see everybody out there. Saturday, March 15th is the Community Cleanup Day, starting from 8 o'clock and ending at 3 p.m. Right, so then we've been talking, then we also have the Hawthorne City View. What's the distribution of this, and what's the expanse of the distribution?
It's beautiful.
We just have a paper copy, is that what it is? Absolutely not. No, it's online. There's a QR code on the back that we totally encourage our residents to sign up for this notification. And we're compiling a list of emails in the city to spread it out to more residents.
This is beautiful, really well put together, really well thought out. I mean, obviously, I prefer paper. I'm more of an old school type of guy. But if in order to disseminate this, we just sign you up, and you can use social media to be able to access it. Okay?
And Mr. Mayor, I don't know if you recognize some of the individuals on the cover there.
Yeah, Santa Claus and his wife. Really? Is that him? I couldn't even tell that.
Make sure the children are asleep right now.
I know.
Don't be telling them where Santa Claus is.
Thank you for stepping up.
To the chair, real quick on that. Vaughn, is it possible to tie that into the 311 app when they sign up for the 311 app? Maybe they can also click to get the newsletter?
That's a great idea. We will add a tab for registration of the city newsletter.
Or an option, right? Check
Yes,
the box
absolutely.
if you want the news or whatever, right?
Yes.
Then the last thing, here you go. The last thing, we were talking about the homeless situation. So I believe that we're going to see a great improvement and reduction in the numbers of the homeless that we have out there. We've seen a decline. And it's because of the services that we've had. And I think it's a direct relationship. is proportionally, directly proportional to, you know, what we've been doing, what our Mayor Pro Tem has been doing, and our fellow council members and staff, of course, who's been leading the charge. So, the homeless count, we're asking for people to come and assist with that. Put your money where your mouth is, guys. Whoever has questions about this whole homeless situation, put your money where your mouth is. Come and see this for yourself, so you could go see where everybody's at and see that, you know, if we have an issue or situation or not. So I think this time I'll probably try to make it. The collection point, the gathering point for this homeless count is Thursday, February 20th at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7:30 at the Hawthorne Memorial Center at the Venus Room. That's when the registration is taking place, 6:30 to 7:30. And then you just jump in the car, truck, or whatever it's going to be, transportation-wise, and then you're going to make yourself out there, just scan the whole city, go quadrant after quadrant, area after area to locate the homeless and make sure we touch base with them. Okay, and I think we've given us good data for a while, right, on this. So we've seen a decrease, so that's good. Here you go, man. All right. So Councilmember Montero asked me to mention those, but I don't want to take away from the things I wanted to talk about. Thank you for the Business Expo, April 24th. It's going to be awesome. You know what? If you don't like me, just tell me. You know. You saw what you tried to do to me? Wow. What the heck was that about? We have to have some training on this situation. No. Book drive is Tuesday, January 14, 2025. That's a book drive for the situation over there, or for our local area?
No, absolutely. That's something the City of Hawthorne actually put on under the guidance of Mayor Pro Tem Manning. We have 2 locations here at City Hall, Holly Park Book Exchange.
Okay. No, this one's pretty cool. And I could probably go through my little book stand and pull out a whole bunch of books. It's going to be Tuesday, January 14, 2025. Please drop off new or lightly used books for the victims of the LA wildfires. You know, they've lost everything, man. They've lost everything. And they don't have the money necessarily. Yeah, we think because they live up there in certain areas and all, they lost everything. They're in dire straits. So to have books to be able to read while they're in the shelters or wherever they're at, it'll provide a good, decent form of entertainment. So it's going to be January 14, 2025 at Holly Park. There's the drop-off point over there. Oh, it's continuous. I'm sorry. It started Tuesday, January 14th. It's ongoing. And you can bring your books to the Hawthorne City Hall lobby. At this moment, I'm going to ask all the members of the committee within City Hall that helped organize all these very generous charitable programs that we had to benefit the victims of the fires. Can you guys please stand so we can acknowledge you? We had a team of people that helped organize this stuff. Can you guys please stand? Thank you guys so much.
And Mayor, if I can add to that, over the weekend, I reached out to staff and said, Monday morning, we're going to have an emergency meeting. And all the things that you saw on social media, the red tab that was on our website with items for the fires that were listed, this committee put together. So thank you for the commitment and dedication to the City of Hawthorne.
Thank you, guys. Super quick. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, to respond to what Marie said in terms of taking them to lunch, I did that. Y'all remember, right. I did that. I took everybody to lunch. I just had to brag.
All right. Thank you. So, talking about the Cape Verde Islands, their Olympic team, I would like to revisit the concept of the sister cities. You may have volunteered a name from, and I volunteered one, from like where my family's from. So maybe we could explore that, and I think it'd be pretty fun to do. So we could start doing interchanges and start just having outreach. I think it's time that we kind of do what a lot of other cities do. Okay?
To the chair, I also have Nigerians and Guinea who want to do sister cities with Hawthorne.
There'll be opportunities. Yeah, we can have multiple sister cities. Okay, we just got to be ready to, make sure that we go back and forth and have a presence over there, and not just host. Okay. Love Beyond Autism. I think it'd be great if we could somehow help her organization facilitate at least the event. I know people who have autism, and they're wonderful, beautiful people, and people that are dear to me. So I think it's a cause that's worth investing in, or as individuals, right? Volunteering and helping, and just making sure that that word gets spread. Awareness, and hopefully there would be like some type of resolution, like something medically that we could explore to try to resolve everything. My condolences to our council member colleague, Angie Reyes English, on the loss of her brother, and I think she might have lost somebody else as well in her family. I'm not sure, but if we could have a moment of silence at this moment for her brother. The McDonald's project on Inglewood Avenue. Thank you, sir, for being here, for Mr. Di Pasquale, and the residents who had showed up at that meeting, or those couple of meetings that we had discussed the project, and we heard the questions, the things that were needed to be addressed, and we hope that we were able to meet some of those. Mitigate any issues that we're seeing as possibly impacting the community. And I think, thank you very much, congratulations, sir, or thank you for making that recommendation about removing and putting a red curb right at the exits. Once I drove by there, I said that would be, that would eliminate a lot of the issues, so that they could have the opportunity to turn left or to exit without going into the neighborhood, but also having enough space for them to swing out in the appropriate direction. Okay, and then you have the concrete curbing within the facility to be able to direct people to make a left turn out of it on the north side, and having the right concrete curbing exiting on the south side. Peggy Holt, thank you so much for serving the community and our city hall staff and operations here with your dedicated support. I mean, I didn't realize she had so many interests and so many things she was doing on the side. I mean, I thought just she, was the master Halloween decorator. That's like, but man, she has so many things that she did, and shoot, I would want to go out to visit Pompeii myself. So that'd be something nice. So I hope you enjoy, Peggy. The enforcement issue, I also think we just need to start having a mind shift when we are enforcing. I just think that we need to start enforcing some of the things that we're seeing out there. I've received a couple of calls from residents out there that are still mentioning the homeless blocking entrances to businesses in the morning. I just got a call from the Providence group over here across the street, saying that in the morning they always have to be walking over people that are crouched up against the entrance to their clinic, and they just move around the corner a little bit, and just there's issues with that. People need help. They need mental health help. Sometimes they deny the services, but they need the help. So and there is a danger at times. We can't dismiss that. We can't pretend that, okay, there's no, there is a danger. And when we still have instances, and I get calls still about people defecating in public and, peeing in public, urinating in public and doing certain things, it's, if I did that, if you did that, we'd go to jail right away. You know, I think, and when you have people that are just saying no to, are turning away the service and the help that we're offering them, then you know what? At that point, you know, we just need to have a heavier hand when it comes to dealing with that to protect our community and our children and our families. So I believe that I think we should start enforcing a lot more than just a lot more than we have. I just think that's just a general approach that we should just start taking, just like we would enforce with with just a regular citizen who might not have mental health. So I think that we need to take a different approach when it comes to that. I've just been receiving too many calls lately about that. And it's not to say that the numbers of the homeless individuals has decreased. That's one thing that we're going to find that out. But I think what the remnants that we do have remaining have been impacting our community. But also wanted to mention Guy Hawker. Guy Hawker was somebody who I was born in 1971. You know, here lived here all my life in the city of Hawthorne, and some of my first memories were of the parades that we used to have along Hawthorne Boulevard. And in the late 70s or early 80s, the figure that stood out to me more was the elegant and classy figure that was Mayor Guy Hawker when he would come out in those parades, when he'd wave to everybody, and he's just like, that's the mayor, wow. He's like, oh, wow, you know, that's the mayor. He was like just somebody that's just like, you know, wow, does he big time? I didn't need to see no television star or anything like that. It was the mayor, so it's like, it really, really made a big impression on me. And even recently, you know, everybody can attest to that. This guy was a classy guy, communicated well, you know, was effective, etc. I know people try to attribute certain things to him, that certain things in the city changed because of, but it's not true. That stuff ended up happening in the late '60s with other people's, and I think he just got the bad end of the whole deal. He did a lot of things. He just brought economic stability to the city when he was mayor. He was able to develop certain parts of our community even further. And a lot of what we have today would have been possible if it wasn't for him. So he was, to some extent, he was a mentor. A lot of the things that he did were kind of examples that I followed when it came to being mayor myself. So, it's not former mayor, he's Mayor Guy Hawker to me. So, that being said, it would be great, Mr. City Manager, if we could have some type of memorial, similar to what Councilmember Montero said. If we can have two separate types of things, one for Mr. Guy Hawker, for Mayor Guy Hawker, and one for Pablo Catano. That's what I was going to actually talk about, because Pablo Catano was also somebody who, I was going to say fought for the city. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You know, he's somebody that stood up for the city, stood up for what he believed in. He was one of those individuals that, he was the first Mexican-American, first Latino on the city council, up here on the dais, period. First person. But he tried twice to run. And back then, on the second time, he had won, guys. He had won. But all of a sudden, it came back that they found about like 6 ballots at the bottom of the box that overturned the victory in favor of somebody else. 6 ballots, all that. That's close to home, and that's not like this whole thing with the federal election stuff. That was close to home. So imagine how we felt, and so. But he made it on the council. He became a YouTube sensation. Does anybody know what I'm talking about out there? That was the funniest thing, man. But he was always a pleasant person to be around. So, oh man, dude, that sucks. So if we could have like 2 separate memorials services honoring them, is that something you guys would be okay with? Yeah. Mr. City Manager? Yeah. So, all right, guys. So, if we can close out the meeting in the memory of Guy Hawker, And then along with that, Pablo Catano as well, now that we're thinking about him. Okay, folks. Thank you all for being here. Everything's gonna be okay, America. I hope. So have a great rest of your evening and enjoy your dinner. Thank you guys all for being here.